There are also a lot of other Ripple and XRP changes going around X right now. Things you need to know if you own XRP. If you guys keep coming back for more information and you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing so. Also, please like and leave a comment if this information helps you. Let's start right away. What does Ripple want to do? Dom, hit it. Yeah, I think that Ripple really wants to have the XRP ledger and kind of have tentacles on the whole financial infrastructure that runs the world. So, Hidden Road is on the trading side, the Treasury is on the Treasury side right now, and Rail is on the stablecoin side as well. I think that when you see all of those different parts come together, you'll really understand how powerful what they've been building up is. There are still some things that Ripple needs to do to be able to compete with JP Morgan. I have those pieces. I'll give them to you right after this clip. Lost a lot of time, so I think that's the real goal, to make sure that no matter what part of the financial system someone interacts with, they are touching some part of Ripple's technology in some way, even if they can't see it. I think that's also true of a lot of other tech companies that have really taken off. One great example is Facebook, which is now called Meta. They bought a bunch of different companies after buying Instagram, WhatsApp, and so on. When you use Facebook, a lot of people think of Meta, but they don't know that Facebook is actually made up of a lot of different companies like WhatsApp and Instagram. You should know that these were separate businesses that were then merged and became much more valuable as a whole. So I think that's pretty much the big picture of what's happening. Finally, there's a lot more that Phil might also want to talk about. And are you sure, Phil, that this fits into a long-term plan? Or do you think that these are just chances that Ripple is seeing and they're thinking, hey, we can't pass up this company? Yes, that is a great question. I don't want to say anything that's not out in the open yet. I think that Ripple's approach has always been different from the traditional, well, I'd say traditional, but mostly cypherpunk method. Take a look at the different ways that crypto really began. That was Bitcoin, right? Which I think is more in the cypherpunk style. Don't you remember that Jed McCaleb's first post on Bitcoin Talk was about how XRP was better than Bitcoin? It was his plan. Then Ripple was based on the idea that we should build on what has already been done, right? We're not going to start from scratch with this. We have to make do with the way things are now with the money. You should also listen to what Chris Larsson has to say. He always says that every big change in technology has built on the ones that came before it. So I think what you're seeing with Ripple fits right in with that. As a matter of fact, we're going to build on what has already been done. We're going to work with other groups. That's what Ripple has been doing for the past 10 years. If you're still not sure what he means, let me explain quickly. Ripple knows that they need to work with existing infrastructure in order to connect it to the new infrastructure they've built. So Ripple has been planning ahead to get the parts they need to integrate their new technology with older systems. You must not be paying attention to Ripple's overall plan if you don't think they have a team looking at acquisitions right now, right? This team is made up of very bright, smart, young, and lovely people. By going through and picking up the pieces they need in a planned way, they can compete with the JP Morgans of the world. I'll show you that information right now. He should finish his last clip here. However, that is what he means. The plan hasn't been to try to get rid of banks totally. Instead, it's been to work with them. Like other parts of DeFi have done, we're going to shut them down. People will say things like, well, we'll kill JP Morgan, but Ripple's message is more like, look, we're going to work with banks. With all of these different banks, we're going to work together. Now, I think what you're seeing is this strategy really coming to the fore, and Ripple is starting to make big moves to actually grab that and solidify what it's been building for the past 10 years. This is something we can talk about in public. Okay, what parts of the puzzle does Ripple need? I'll just show you who they've bought. This is a great way to catch up on information if you're new to XRP or just starting to learn about it. To keep track of things, they bought a business called Medico in 2023. They were able to roll out Ripple Custody because of this. Ripple Custody and Medico are both companies that are going after the same thing. Fortress Trust is a trust that you have controlled. You have standard custody and technology that is tokenized. A new stablecoin business-to-business stablecoin company was Rail. Ripple just bought something for $200 million. 10% of all business-to-business stablecoin payments happen through Rail. This will keep getting worse over time. I do believe that Ripple will try to acquire yet another part of the stablecoin system. A top broker that Ripple paid $1.25 billion for is also for you. That's the Hidden Road. Prime broker for a variety of assets that handles liquidity, repo, and collateral handling. It can be anywhere from $2 to $8 trillion a day on the money market. It moves a lot of value through it. Besides that, G Treasury also worked with 1,000 business partners and 13,000 financial institutions. Oh my God, things are getting really bad. What are the things we're missing now? The first thing Ripple needs is a license to do business as a bank. I think they put in for that at the end of July. In the fastest possible time frame, it's usually about 120 days. In the past, it could take up to 9 months, but some people on X think we should hear back from the OCC soon about their banking license. A securities exchange or an alternative trading method is the second thing they will need. If they bought or started an ATS or DEX and got legal approval, they could trade tokenized bonds, stocks, and repos that are built right into the XRP ledger. Ripple is likely looking to buy some kind of ATS system, so please keep that in mind. Ripple might also try to buy a company like WorldPay or Stripe that works as a payment provider or merchant network. I believe we should be a little farther down the road. Some of these companies are worth $20 billion to $60 billion, and Ripple couldn't pay that right now. XRP would have plenty of money to make those kinds of moves if its price went up to $20, $30, or $50. The prime brokerage's credit lending and asset management section is now safe with Hidden Road. Next, Ripple could get into the credit markets by buying a digital loan company or an asset manager to take care of tokenized treasuries. Compliance and identity systems have also been a big part of Ripple's work here. A lot of countries are going toward digital IDs.